Pistol. I'm here with Mr. Jordan Good. Jordan Good works here part-time and he teaches our Intro to Pistol Red Dot shooting classes. Jordan, how are we doing today?
Doing fantastic, Andrew. How are you doing?
Doing well. We're doing a little video talking about his Pistol Red Dot classes. We had 2 of them so far. One was a shorter one, about 2.5 hour one on a weeknight. The other one was a full day one on a Saturday. It was about 8 hours long. That was an awesome class. Thank you to everyone who came out for that. Everyone had a great time. We're gonna be hosting plenty more of those. But some people had a couple questions about what the Pistol Red Dot class was, what your approach to training was, what your background in shooting was, what course curriculum you teach. Can you just give us all a little bit of a general overview of your philosophy on Pistol Red Dot shooting, where you come from, and what you teach?
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Jordan Good, as Andrew mentioned. So I've been running a pistol with a Red Dot for about 8 years now. Been teaching with a company for 5. Recently focusing on RDSs on pistols. The reason for that, I have found in my experience, they are just better for so many reasons because you get to stay target focused, you can be faster, but where people kind of fall with that is they feel like they're slower because they have so many training issues come from iron sights. That's what the class is kind of intended, is to teach you how to use the Red Dot pistol better because there is some differences from irons. So that's kind of the overview with that, where that came from. A lot of my techniques, a lot of my teaching did come from Scott Jitlinski from Modern Samurai Project. I've been through 2 of his instructor classes and 1 of his just regular RDS classes. I am also one of his black belt recipients. Should we go into that a little bit?
Talk about a little bit why you decided to seek Modern Samurai Project out, why you wanted to train with him, and what you've learned how to teach for our class.
Yeah. So, reason I found Scott, really good dude, really good instructor. Personally, probably one of the best I've been to. So, his black belt standards that he started, how long did he actually started? We've been doing for a while now. There's 31 patches actually. There's only about 17 or 18 of us that have them. So what they are, it's 4 different drills. The first one is at 3 yards. It's called the 3 and 2 drill. So 3 yards from the holster, you have 2 seconds to put 3 rounds into the center A zone and 2 rounds in a 3x5 inch credit card in the head box under 2 seconds. That's drill number 1. Drill number 2 is back at 7 yards, and it's drawing 1 round to the center A zone under a second. And then the third one is still at 7 yards, and it's a bill drill. So that's 6 rounds into the A zone under 2 seconds. That's drill number 3. If you completed those, we drop back to 25 yards, and it's draw from the holster, 1 round into the A zone under a second and a half at 25 yards. So if you complete all those classes, you get 1 black belt patches.
It sounds like a difficult test, but it's a good standard. I feel like maybe in the future we'll do a video of him shooting that because I know he could do it. It's off the cusp like that. But he sounds like, I've watched his videos online. He sounds like an awesome trainer, a great tactician, a great operator of that pistol. So going from there, after learning what you learned with him, what is your 30,000 foot view about Pistol Red Dot shooting? We got a couple here on the table. This is a Glock with a CHPWS Red Dot. Do you view this as a pistol and then a sight, or do you view this as an entire weapon system where the pistol is integrated into, I'm assuming the Red Dot is integrated into the pistol and you shoot slightly differently in techniques when you have a Red Dot equipped on your pistol?
So there is definitely some differences that happen because it is a whole weapon system, kind of like Andrew was saying. People want to buy whatever pistol they buy, they slap a Red Dot on it, and then they try to shoot it the same way. And the issues with that, we go from shooting an iron sight pistol, which has a rear sight, a front sight, and then your targets. You have 3 different things that you're trying to focus on. With a Red Dot, you have 1 simple Red Dot here that you superimpose onto your target. So you get the same target focus the whole time. And with that, there is some hangups people find. So that's kind of the goal of the class, is to get some of that stuff pushed out. And that will take time, but coming through the class, we can get some of that stuff situated.
Yes, because I feel like just as in previous shooting techniques, if you go back to looking at World War II footage, they didn't even use iron sights. They didn't have good iron sights. They point shooted guns. That's how they taught it. They held guns, and yes, the gun is clear. They held guns out like this around their chest and acted like a turret and shot guns like that because these were not considered to be as capable as rifles. They were personal defense weapons for close range, which I feel like they still kind of are to a certain extent. You can do a lot more with modern pistols now, right? But irons to Red Dot, there are some body mechanic techniques difference, would you say so? Can you explain a little bit of the nitty gritty shooting techniques in terms of stance and grip
Yeah.
the difference between irons and red dots.
Yeah, so with stance and grip, I show a little bit of a different grip technique than most. Hand gets up nice and high, pressure on the pinkies, keep the gun controlled. Then the other thing we started doing for some reason, and you'll see it kind of in the B-roll that we're going to run through here, people like to dip their heads a lot when they bring the pistol up, and there's issues with that, because now you have your head moving and a pistol moving. You have two moving axes. Is it easier to have one thing move at a time or two things move at a time? You answer that question for yourself. For me, I know what I'd rather do. So there's definitely that there. Apparently, what else did we really see in that class? What was the big takeaway you had from it? Because Andrew did take the first half of the class.
I did, yes. I took the first half of the class. The biggest thing I took away from your class was that any little inefficiencies of people's body mechanics or people's shooting stance or grip was identified real quick.
Yeah.
Anytime that anybody was tracking that dot under recoil, that was easily identifiable on their target. We saw everyone's bad habits, whether they came from iron sights or whether they were new shooters, with the drills that you made us go through, was identified real quick, and you did a really good job of making it clear about what we need to do to fix that. So I feel like it was a holistic, wholesome system. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to teach you just trigger control, and I'm going to teach you just sight alignment, I'm going to teach you just stance and grip. It was the context of everything of, hey, I'm going to teach you how to operate this red dot pistol, right, properly, was all together, which I thought was really awesome. If you had to explain that a little more to newer shooters who maybe don't know, the differences between them, because maybe they haven't taken professional classes before, what would you say the difference is between, your class throwing red dot from the ground up versus taking just generic pistol shooting class?
Yeah, so for me, like Andrew was kind of saying, we look at this as a weapon system, not just as a pistol with a red dot on top. There are instructors out there that will say, oh, cool, you teach a red dot pistol class. Why is that so difficult? Because all you got to do is take your pistol, put your red dot on the target, squeeze the trigger. In the simplest form, yes, that's true, but it's how do I get from my holster to my target quickly, efficiently? Because anybody can do that in 5 to 10 seconds. That's not cool though, bro. Let's learn how to do this fast. So for you guys that are newer, I want to show you the steps to get there. It's going to require you to do the work to get there, but a good buddy of mine, Louis, started with him. He's a dude that just bought his first gun a year ago. He's already a dude that can do sub-second draws because he put in the work and did the techniques that I've shown him.
Right. Yeah, and I definitely saw in the class, even our newer shooters who didn't have years of experience on irons, really picked up the concepts. And if anything, I felt like in one of the classes, we had a gentleman who is an incredible shooter. He's been shooting for 40 years, all irons, and he recently got his first red dot, I think a year or two ago. I saw him struggling, with some of the body mechanic issues because he was so used to that different sighting system and the tricks and techniques that he learned to shoot that well and fast. And you kind of threw him through a loop a little bit.
I did throw him through a loop.
So
and he appreciated it. He went, because the way I run the class is I don't just say, do this because I say so. I show you what I'm doing and I let you do it your way, and then I show you the way I'm trying. You can decide what's better. I personally don't care what you do. So that's the way I run that class. It's not thou shalt, it's technique based. I show you what works for me. You modify what works for you, and that's also why myself and the AI are there to help you through that too. Because hey, different health issues or injuries, whatever, they may limit you from doing certain things. So I'm not going to say you can't. If you can't do it this way, you're wrong. That's not my approach.
Right. So I thought that was really awesome because maybe if you had a little bit less time on irons, you didn't have as much. I don't want to say the word training scars because they're not training scars because you learned how to shoot irons efficiently. Right. It's just it was a little easier for you to adapt your techniques, your shooting abilities to red dots. When you weren't that these irons weren't so engraved in you. But that brings us to the next question. Who do you think should take this class? Is it only for people who want to transition to irons? Is it only for brand new shooters? Is it for guys who've been shooting for years and they know how to run a dot, they just want a little different perspective on it? What do you think in terms of who should sign up to take our class?
So personally for me, I think it's for everybody. And you actually see on the table here, we've got a tiny little Hellcat, we've got a
Glock 17 with a closed emitter red dot, and then we have the big boy here, the Atlas with a hollow sun comp red dot on
so
it.
we're going from micro carry, full size, police gun, competition gun. We kind of got everything. We did that on purpose. I don't care what gun you show up with. Use what you want to use. The class is designed for your everyday carriers, your people, your law enforcement. If you're military, sure, if you want to take the class, but that's a little different. Your focus is rifles on pistols. But if you're an everyday carrier, somebody who just wants to shoot daily, everybody can benefit from being faster and more accurate.
Of course. Yeah.
So that's the idea of the class, is to do that for you. It's very specific on certain things, but also very broad on others. So you can apply the techniques and the things I'm showing to your application.
Of course, yeah. I definitely saw that in the class. We had law enforcement guys who were firearm instructors there. We had guys who showed up with their first concealed carry handgun with the red dot on there. We've had experienced competition shooters there as well. And then you have me, just a guy who works at a gun shop who likes to have fun showing up there. So we got a good group. I feel like the class was ran very well. It was a good pace. We're not trying to be super militant about these classes, and we're not trying to screw off the entire time. We're trying to have a good pace for that. So good group of guys. Just briefly touch upon what gear that you would want your students to bring, or what you expect your students to bring to these classes.
Yeah, so really, obviously, a good working pistol with a red dot on it. 3 to 4 magazines is what I'd like. If you have more, that's cool, but 3 to 4 is kind of my minimum. Any holster you have, I really don't care. The only 2 exceptions I'll make that I don't want you to have. I don't want to small the back because I don't want you to flag the line, and same with the shoulder holster. I don't want you to be flagging the line. But if you got inside the waistband, outside the waistband, you got a race rig. The one dude who was a cop, he was running his rig that he carries for the work. I really don't care what you use with that. Use what you will get the most out of. So if you're just an everyday carrier, use your appendix rig, use your rig for that. If you're like, hey, my big thing is I'm using a red dot for competition, bring a competition rig. I really don't care. Between me and my AI, we've got techniques for all the different holster uses, and we'll set you up with that. Like I said, the only 2 things I don't want are small the back holsters and shoulder holsters, just because they're not safe for everybody else.
Awesome, yeah. And any gear you guys need, we have at the shop here at RDS Pistol for his classes. The biggest point we want to drive home is that we want everyone to have an open mind when they come and take these classes. We don't want anybody to think that, oh, I know how to shoot, I've been shooting for years, it's just throwing a red dot on. We want you to all experience the awesome techniques that he's been mastering, and his awesome teaching techniques, because he's a great instructor. We have tons of fun at the class. It's a good time. I think you charge a very, very fair price for the classes for the whole day. So we're just encouraging you all to come out, check it out, have an open mind, and have some fun. That's the most important part at the end of the day. So Jordan, thank you for doing this video with us. It was awesome. Hope to see you all there. The next Pistol Red Dot class is going to be on December 2nd. It's an all-day class on Saturday, and then we're having a shorter class during the week, just on December 15th.
December 15th is Friday night.
Correct, yes. Check our social media. We'll be posting more of those updates on those classes then, and we hope to see you all there. See you guys.
See you guys.
Take care.